be thinking, what do you know? What do sloths look like? Are there different kinds? Are there different types? And you may be thinking, well, where do they live? Well, they actually live in the Amazon rainforest, Central and South America, preferably. And you may be associating lazy or slow with sloths. A good possibility, because many people do. However, sloths are not lazy. Sloths actually conserve energy. We all have different prior knowledge of sloths, and I happen to be a sloth fanatic. So, bear with me while we get philosophical today, and we will be connecting all of the different things we've learned in class, and I will be connecting them with sloths. But first, the reason I fell in love with sloths. We all have different knowledge based on our experience, culture, and upbringing. What is knowledge? What is it to be intelligent? I know there are different forms of intelligences, and we have preferences on learning styles, but is it possible to make kids stupider? I pondered this for a while. Doesn't this imply you must be stupid in the first place? It reiterates that you believe a teacher holds all the power to learn. I'm not sure it's possible to make someone less smart, and I'll tell you why. Let's start with the definition of stupid. In other words, it is a word that exists to belittle those based upon their perceived mental acuity. If you doubt this statement, look at these list of synonyms. Dull, dumb, idiotic, unintelligent. These words have a deeper meaning because of the institutionalization that occurred with people with disabilities and the sterilization of women without their knowledge. So these are things that impact why we have a belief system and our attitudes towards them. Sometimes we have to rearrange these thoughts based on prior knowledge. And hopefully with this information, we can change the way we think about it and change our schemata to fit, to include everybody. People use schemata to organize current knowledge and provide a framework for future understanding. So an example, like making kids stupider, this is something we really need to think about and how language impacts what we're saying and the history connected with it. As you can see, language is a very powerful part of the learning process, but so is actually going through the experience. As our good friend John Dewey would quote, "Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself." I think we can also agree that our friend Dewey here would agree that we need to collaborate together and discuss topics. That is one of the best ways to learn. But more so, creating a community in a classroom, such as Heather's. I mean, didn't we all just feel like family? I know I learn best with the interaction with all of you, sharing your ideas, interacting together, and brainstorming through solutions and problems. I don't know about you, but that makes me one happy camper. Moving right along to behaviorism, or as soon as I think behaviorism, I think caramel M&Ms for sure. I mean, doesn't it just make you want to answer questions and get treats? Okay, but really, I mean, there is a lot to do with motivation and behavior. Like, for example, the sloth. I mean, their motivation to go to the bathroom one time a week is due to a good reason, that they do get eaten by other animals, so they have managed to break this down to once a week, as you will see in the video.
Wild sloths have somewhat eccentric bathroom habits. So potty training is a key part of the baby's curriculum. First up this morning is little Jojo.
We take them outside to go to the bathroom because we want to simulate how they would go in the wild, which is they would descend to the ground, they would hug the base of the tree, and they would go poo and pee.
A sloth only goes to the loo once a week, so it's something to be savoured.
You can tell when a sloth is actually going to the bathroom because they get this blissed out look on their faces. Their eyes kind of defocus and their smile gets a little bit wider.
There's definitely no hurrying a baby sloth on the job.
So you may be asking yourself at this point, why? Why sloths? Why does this matter? Well, let me tell you. 25% of natural medicines have been found in the rainforest, and 6% of the Earth's surface is covered in rainforests. Half of all plant and animal species live in the forest. 80% of plants and flowers are not found anywhere else in the world. 20% of oxygen is produced by the rainforest, and 90% of people living in extreme poverty worldwide depend on the rainforests. Every minute, forest the size of 20 football fields is cut down. These are for reasons like agriculture, logging for paper, and building supplies. This is for food like sugarcane, oil palms, soybean, etc. Maslow would have his panties up in a bunch if he understood what was going on with the forests. So you first must be aware of the situation and then you can take action. And also, as educators, use your voice to instill this motivation within your students and give them the why behind why they're learning. So just like the sloths today, it may seem small, but the impact can be so large. Hopefully I've provided you with an experience where you've thought analytically, creatively, and practically, and that can increase overall awareness in this area. I know Sternberg would have been proud if I did so. Hopefully you can see how I've connected my passions of sloths to real-world problems that we all need to collaborate with and find solutions to these critical problems. We must take from Maslow to ensure that all needs are being met.